Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the September Condemnation Board meeting. The time is 2:02. Call to order, approval of minutes of the July 19th meeting, 2021.
I'll make the motion to approve.
All right. Second that motion.
Do you allow corrections to my remarks from last time? This is Paul Dudix.
Okay.
I called in about it and sent an email.
What was your correction, Paul?
It's a simple one. It's one of the last lines at it says the signatures are being collected by neighbors for the demo permit. Actually, what the neighbors got was a notification by statute on either side. They got their notification letter, certified mail, and the contractor has that receipt in his file already. And what he was collecting was the signatures from so far at that time was zoning and conservation. So there was a little mix-up, I guess, of what I was saying, or I was misunderstood.
Okay. Andrea, you have that correction?
Yep, so I have it now. We'll read signatures are being collected for zoning and conservation for permits, and then a notification was sent out to the neighbors.
Right.
Okay.
That'll suffice, yeah, because I've already gotten some feedback, third party, that what's going on in the neighborhood with signatures. I wanted to avoid any problems for everybody.
Okay.
All right.
I believe that's any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I'll make a motion to waive the usual order in favor of those who are participating on the phone.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right. So why don't we start with Mr. Dudek? 230 Hoyden?
Okay. Other people were on before me. I don't mind waiting.
Well, we had your name down first on print.
Okay.
Here, so.
All right. I had a meeting with the demo contractor. He came out and had me sign another authorization for that he and I would agree to follow the state statutes for demolition. It's a little form that he wanted to complete his file with, and at that meeting we were joined by the neighbor that we were going to use for the water supply to keep the dust control down, but that morphed into a discussion about the dust and so forth, and perhaps the well might go dry if too much water was used. So I told the neighbor that don't worry about it, I'll reactivate my well, and that's I had to call a Foley pump, and that was just completed a few weeks ago. They had to come out 3 times. They were going to use the old equipment in the basement, but that turned out to be a lost cause, and they came out with a new pump, a submersible one, hooked that up. The only thing that they didn't do was test it, because at the end I found out it doesn't run off 110 extension cord. I have to have 220. So I have to put on the pressure switch, I have to put some kind of pigtail plug. I could do it myself. I don't want to call out an electrician. I had already called the contractor about it and talked with him, and he said, well, he wasn't comfortable doing that. I gather that from him, but if I do it myself, can I call in an electrical inspection and have him look at the wiring I did on the pressure switch on the pump that is a temporary setup?
Paul, I'm going to defer to the building inspector.
You're going to have to pull an electrical permit for that, Paul.
Paul, did you hear that?
Yeah, if a contractor does it, right?
Oh, if anybody does any type of electrical work, even a homeowner on their own home, they need to apply for an electrical permit. Then we can do an inspection.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll call the contractor back and see what if he has someone he can send over or something. I don't know. So that's where we are right now.
Paul, in regards to schedule, how soon do you think that's going to be?
Well, as soon as I get that pigtail done, I've already talked to the other contractor. He said he just needs a 2-week notice now because he's made changes in his personnel. So
what are you thinking for a time frame, Mr. Dudig, to start with the actual demo?
I hope within the next 6 weeks. I got to be more realistic. I think things can get done right away, but just having a pump guy scheduled, and they came out twice, the same guy, because the first time he didn't have the right stuff, and then he had to go back. Then they reassessed the problem and came out with another solution, and several weeks passed. So, and right now, I'm being told everybody's busy. When you have a small job, they're looking for something that's big. So, I just got to go with the flow, and I hope I can get it done as quickly as possible.
Mr. Dudig, I'll put it this way: we've been very patient. If we aren't substantially ready to demo by the next meeting, I'm most likely going to make a motion to move to citation and start finding.
Okay.
We've been very patient. We're trying to be patient. We understand you're making forward progress, but it's moving very slowly. Okay?
All right.
Mr. Dudig, according to the minutes, it is unsure where the septic tank is located. Have you located that?
No. That was decided to locate it after talking to the sanitarian, town sanitarian. I can't remember my full conversation I had with him or when I had it, but I don't take good notes. But if it's uncovered when just before demo, I was told just send pictures in.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't believe we've received pictures. Correct.
Oh no, because the equipment isn't here to do the digging.
Okay. I am also in favor of what Mr. Cleary has mentioned. If we don't have anything by next month, I think we move forward.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Next item. Let's see. Ms. Stamler, how are you?
I'm here. Thank you. I am well.
All right.
So on 447 Stratfield, so essentially, I did make contact with the realtor. I left messages with the owner. He's not returning calls or returning our letters or contacting us in any way. I made contact with the realtor, who essentially indicated that, the homeowner, the property owner is likely not going to be doing any kind of work on the property, whether there's fines or not, is essentially what he indicated. And so that's sort of the current status of it right now, is that he's not planning to take action on that property at this point, according to the realtor.
So where does that leave? Are you're collecting fines or?
Yep, we've moved to citation. That's the authority that we're given. That's the sort of the furthest step we're going to go. So we'll have to discuss here, what if there's certain steps that we may take in terms of. I know there had been some caution tape put up there, and if there's any measures that the town can take to potentially secure the fence around the pool, such that it's not accessible. So we'll consider that here. We'll have to talk to the town attorney about, taking those kind of actions on private property. So.
Right. Just to clarify on the fines, they're being collected retroactive to a certain date?
To the date we issued the citation. He did not request an appeal, so when he has received the citation letter or when it was issued is when the fines go till. So they're going on right now, and they'll be collected. Okay. Essentially at the when the property is sold, which it is up for sale right now. The fines will be paid.
Right, I understand. That's a lien against it. I understand. All right, I appreciate all of this effort. I know you have a lot more on your plate. just one thing. I have noticed that the iron fencing around the pool has slipped further down the Rooster River bank, which I think is a hazard. Is that something that's in your domain? Is it in conservation? It's just not something that is visible unless you're walking around Woodside Circle, which is where I walk, so I see it.
We'll have to take a look at it and see exactly what you mean. But being that our authority really rests in ordering the owner to take action. And he is at this point is essentially walking away from the property and not taking the responsibility for it.
Right.
We can find him at this point, but again, we'd have, like I said about the other actions we may take, we'll have to run that. We'll have to take a look out there and see what we see, and then, if it does present, an imminent physical hazard to somebody, then potentially take action.
Okay. All right. I appreciate how difficult the situation is and the limits of your authority. I wish there was something more I could do to be helpful, and if there is, I hope you'll let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Stambler.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next is Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller. Are you with us, Mr. Miller? Mr. Miller?
Someone might have dropped off. That might have been him.
Okay.
Just to cover it, he's calling regarding
20 Morehouse.
Number 20 Morehouse.
Which there is action going on. There's
Correct.
Moving forward. He's being fined right now.
Yeah, just came in.
Right now, there is action going on, but it's still being fined.
It is fined. As a board, is there any time where we have suspended fines due to the forward progress?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, there's nothing in the ordinance that gives us that authority.
Okay.
That's the stick that we have, and once it's imposed,
okay,
that's all the grace was used up prior to that, as it's been told to us, because we've been asked if we can modify, suspend, do this, and the general word we get back is,
as soon as it's
once you issue it, it's done, and that's
It stays that way until the problem is remedied, right?
till it's resolved. Yes.
okay.
So that's 20 Morehouse.
20 Morehouse. Okay. And now the last one is
102 Pepperidge.
102 Pepperidge Circle. I went out there this morning for the second time. I met with the occupants, homeowners, and walked the property, and I did not see any debris and or rodents that are listed in the complaint. In fact, spoke with the occupants who also related that they have exterminators coming out on a quarterly basis, and if they should see any activity that they call immediately thereafter. The yard, I did not see anything that was above and beyond. So I personally would like to make a motion that we remove 102 Pepperidge Circle from the agenda or the list of complaints.
I'll second that. Favor?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 102 Pepperidge is off. Okay.
All right, Phil, it's John. Am I good to drop then? No issue, no further action on my end?
Correct. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, have a good day.
Goodbye. You as well.
All right, going back to the regular schedule or agenda items. Any communications that we need?
I have none other than
One came in. This one came in for 43 Helen, which is already being fined. So
Okay.
I'm not sure how he handled that. That just came in this morning.
43 Helen. Is that,
I thought 43 Helen came off because it's not on the agenda anymore.
It's not on the agenda, but it was, I believe it was still being fined. I'll double check that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see, because I thought that came off a while back because we took it off the agenda, but
Okay, we can look into that.
Okay.
other than
We'll
that,
look at that
no
for
other
next.
communications?
Okay.
No.
No
That's
other?
all I had.
Okay. Condemnation, old business, the two that remain there are still under blight as well, 292 Berkeley and 92 Grassmere Ave.
No, I'm sorry, it's Greg Miller. Can we back up to 20 Morehouse Highway for a second?
Okay, Mr. Miller. We've already discussed it, but what do you have?
I didn't really understand if he was being fined or he got an exception.
No, he's currently being fined.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. All right, going back to condemnation new business. Any new?
Nope, no new business.
Okay. Blight ordinance, old business. 292 Berkeley.
I know they were trying to get on the agenda for zoning. I haven't got an update from them. They called me probably a month ago and said they're a little over a month. They're trying to get on the agenda for zoning for the new proposal of what they plan to construct there.
Okay.
But in terms of the property, there's no change.
Okay. Anything else in regards to 292 Berkeley then? Hearing nothing, we'll go to 92 Grassmere. 92 Grassmere is still being fined. I drove by there today, and it appears that the yard and partial property is still continuing to get worse. Yep. So it's being fined still. 230 Hoydens we just discussed. 383 Hunyadi Avenue. Confirmed car is registered. I went there this afternoon, or early this afternoon, spoke with the occupant homeowner. The yard has been cleaned up a little. He has a temporary storage container or temporary garage structure in the rear that he's planning on removing or storing some of the items that are out in the backyard. He has put them all in one corner of the yard. He's planning on moving all that underneath the temporary structure. Out of all the cars, he related that all of them were registered. So I asked to see all the paperwork. He presented paper for a Suburban, which we were waiting on. That he went to meet with DMV on April of this year, but he wasn't able to provide me with a current registration form. So out of everything there, including the jet skis, which I believe there was now 4 jet skis, 3 or 4 vehicles, but there was one Chevy that he did not produce. I'd recommend, because he stated, I should say, that he went to DMV and has it registered. He just did not provide the document. Is it worth keeping him on for another month? And again, giving him that time to once again provide the document. I did see paperwork from DMV, just not current registered.
Yeah. So, I mean, what we can do is just, if you check the plate, we can just run that, the DMV online, you can check a registration status, and so I would say we just check that.
Okay.
If it says it's current, that's fine. That's what I typically do, is just look at that and say it's current, and if it doesn't look like it's operable, that's a different thing. But if it looks like it's operable and has a plate on it, I just check the. Yeah,
okay.
So.
All right. Anything else with Hunyadi? No. 114 James Street.
Yeah, so they're making progress there. They cleaned out the backyard, got rid of the old structures around the pool. They started cleaning that stuff out. Cleaned up the driveway. They got rid of the side stairs that were structurally unsound, so those are gone. The debris is hauled away, and so they're making progress. But we have a citation appeal hearing that we're working to schedule with them coming up. And hopefully they're down to,
maybe they won't
just
need
one
appeal.
pile of stuff that maybe we won't need to. But so I would, just wait till the citation appeal hearing.
Forward progress.
Yeah.
All right. 70 Jennings Road. Confirm the car. I did not have the opportunity to go out and confirm this car.
Yeah, I spoke with the owner, and basically they, so we got the call about the couches and debris that were out front. That's all gone. My suggestion on this one is that, they basically said, yeah, that car is not registered. They're hoping to repair it at some point in the future, and want to save it. They put a cover over it. But I would just simply, at this point, they've taken care of the majority of the blight issues. I would refer the car to zoning. It's an unregistered, inoperable car, and let them handle that.
And the backyard was cleaned up, I think,
Backyard was, the backyard never had significant debris.
Okay.
So I'd make a motion to take 70 Jennings off our agenda with a referral to zoning for the car.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. 53 Marion Road. New owner, hearing notice to be sent.
So that one, yeah, we have to send it. It was going back and forth on that one, but the complainant confirmed last week with me that the new owner hasn't done work, so we wanted to move forward with the complaint with the new owner. So I'll send that out for the October meeting.
Okay. All right, new owner. 65 Myro, which was referred to zoning.
Yep. Matt was working with him. Last I spoke with him, there had been forward progress in reducing the amount of commercial vehicles and other vehicles on the property and debris.
All right. Based on that, then, should we keep it on or should we remove? Because it's kind of in zoning.
Zoning has issued an order, and so I think, they're taking the lead on it, so I'd be comfortable taking it off.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion then to remove.
I'll second it.
65 Myro. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. 233 Old Oaks Road is currently being fined.
233 Old Oaks it should have come off. They were compliant back in June.
That's over by the golf course.
Yeah. They finished everything.
Okay.
They finished everything that we asked them to do at the time. So they basically, we had a citation appeal hearing, and basically put in place. I think we gave them a couple weeks to finish up, or the hearing officer did, and said the fines would start right after that.
You're absolutely right.
And they complied with that time period. So they finished. So I would make a motion that 233 Old Oaks has complied with our order and prior to the date by the hearing officer, and that we remove it from the agenda.
I second it.
When do I take, because we had the fine started on May 20th.
But they appealed that, and then they appealed the...
They appealed that, but that was when the fine started if they weren't done by May 20th.
Yeah, and they were compliant.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought this was taken off a while back.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
Do we have to vote to remove it, or is it just complied?
I think we had a motion in a second, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. 741 Old Stratfield Road. Confirm 6 vehicles are registered, of which
the ones by the owner of the property are registered. There's a tenant there that has one unregistered car there, and so at this point, I think there's no other issues there in terms of the stuff that they have around the yard is reasonable. It's he's had a commercial business, and he has several vehicles related to that, and so he parks them there and on the streets and moves them around. The tenant indicated that there was no plan to repair that car, due to finances.
So, what do we as a board do?
Well,
do we keep them on and request additional in regards to the one?
I mean, our course of action is to have a hearing regarding the vehicle and, basically have him present, a registration that it's, and demonstrate that it's operable, by seeing it move, So that's what we should probably do,
We'll keep them on another month?
and we'll have a hearing next month.
Okay. So we'll send a hearing letter. 1180 Old Fuel Road, update on landscaping and animals. 1180.
1180 is up for sale. That I spoke with a realtor and the gentleman hoping to purchase it. He said as soon as it goes through, he's going to clear out everything, and explained it. And then I spoke to today, just this morning, called the realtor listed on the sign, and he said it's under contract. That it may take, just because of the nature of the complexity of it, may take a month or two before it's officially in someone else's hands, but that they were aware of the blight complaint and that the new owner is aware of it and would take care of the issues of removing the debris. They plan to redevelop the site.
So leave the property on?
I think we have to leave it on.
Take no action, waiting the pending sale? All right. 72 Roseville Street, currently being fined.
72 Roseville, I'd have to go back and check the minutes. I thought we were waiting on that one because they were issued the permit and the property is actively under construction right now. It's now gone from I thought we were waiting I may be mixing this, but a permit was issued, and it's now a 2-story building. Whether one level ranch, now it's 2-story, and they're actively working on it.
You're right.
That one is not signed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that find is a mistake. That one is,
okay.
We were close to that. We were telling him if he didn't move on it, and he did get the paperwork into your office and got the permit.
He's
So,
also with that part.
so I think with being that it's now it's an active construction site and being developed, that we can take it off the list here.
Active construction site. All right.
So I'll make a motion to remove it.
I will second. All those in favor? Aye. 79 Stevenson. 79 Stevenson.
So
that one.
Did we issue a citation on that one? I see that says fine there. I thought I can't recall if we actually had issued that.
Oh.
That's the one above Sacred Heart on
That is
Park
up
Ave.
north. That I believe has been vacant for a while. They had the
We sent it out on 3/11, and then we didn't hear from anyone.
Okay.
And then it was because it was returned, then we resent it to the new address in Massapequa on 8/1,
Okay.
the citation.
Okay, so we've issued the citation. It hasn't come back.
Right, it hasn't been returned, no.
Okay, so it's being fined. Hopefully they'll get that and take some action.
So do we do that by the 8/1 date, or how?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in fairness to them, if they didn't get it, was it sent to the property address?
The property address was returned.
Yeah. So if we have a better address and we sent it then, I think it's fair that
Okay.
we start the fines when he receives it.
okay.
He or she.
And then we just spoke about 447 Stratfield Road, 280 Tuckahoe Lane, which has been on for quite a while and is currently being fined.
Yep.
No recent change in regards to that.
Yep.
Anything else in regards to blight old business? Hearing none, we'll move on to blight new business. Number 15 Beacon View Drive. We have it as possible evening trespassers, which I kind of looked at and said, okay, well, I don't really think that falls underneath blight. My opinion only, I believe that would be more of a law enforcement matter. However, I did stop by today, and this structure has, it's overgrown land, although we don't really look at grown land. But I walked around, there's windows, there's siding missing, went to the rear, and the first floor is gone. So it's basically, this building is a skeleton of 3 sides.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's structurally sound, but, you know, the back is just boarded up, and, you know, the whole back has been ripped off, and it's just essentially boarded up. So I think we just move to having a hearing and cite it as blighted, and the windows aren't secured, there's one boarded up window.
I put it down on my sheet as like a hollow structure. I mean,
Yeah.
there's definitely
It's gutted
interior gutting, and so...
So we'll have a hearing next month?
Yes, okay. Do we need to make a motion, or just...
No, that it meets the criteria for blight. I mean, it's boarded up.
Yes.
Significantly, so.
Okay. Moving on to 53 Belmont, which is a parking lot, which the complaint was stated disrepair. This is a roped-off parking lot that it's not being used.
And I would debate that it's actually, I mean, while it has some weeds growing through it, that it's really in a state of disrepair.
Yeah.
That if they took the chains down and cars were driving on it, the weeds would largely go away.
I mean, I had minimal grass. I don't know if this fits the definition of blight.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think, you know, if there was large piles of debris being dumped there, or, you know, it was creating a nuisance situation in some way with, you know, with vehicles parking there, or you know, other types of items being left there. Right now, it's essentially.
I think right now it's an empty lot.
Empty lot, and there's some garbage that blows into it from the Duchess parking lot, which isn't really Duchess's fault necessarily, but
no dumping of any kind.
No dumping of any kind. The grass, you know, around the fence, around the sides is fine. The grass, even on the parking lot, has been cut. You know, so I just don't think it meets the criteria for blight. It's, you know, it does need to be maintained. It does need to be kept clean of, you know, any significant accumulations of trash and debris. But at this point, you know, I saw maybe one or two wrappers sort of in the corner of the lot, you know, so I don't think it arises to the criteria, the level of blight.
I'll make a motion then that this item be removed from new business.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item, 54 Campfield Drive. According to this, attic and rodents. Stop by there also. It looks as though the property is vacant. The property's vacant. So there's no power to the building.
Oh, I think you know, because we, you know, chatted on the phone about this one. I think you were looking at the wrong one. You were looking at a couple down.
Uh-oh.
The 54 Campfield is actually a fully rented two-family, and it really, you know, when you look at the complaint, it really is about interior conditions there. Owner refuses to fix toilets, no certificate of rental occupancy, and continues to fail inspection, sustained injuries due to owner's negligence. So they don't reference any, I didn't see anything that looked like blight. The yard was clear of any debris. The exterior was in good condition. Windows are intact. There's people actively living there. So I think this, my opinion is, I'll make a motion that we remove this from the agenda and just refer this to our office to investigate a housing complaint, because that's what it sounds like it is to me.
Can I see that first answer thing? Yeah, that's the same person.
So I would need a second to that motion.
I second it.
For discussion purposes, this is the one.
Yeah, but if you look at it, it's that one. But if you look at this one, this is, you know, look at that siding. That's brand new.
Yeah. No,
you know?
This is definitely the one, though. I'm pretty sure.
If you go down, what was the old one? You remember what it was? Was it 64 Campfield?
This is new.
If you look at the one, I think it's two houses down. No, one more. I think that's the one you were looking at. is the one that has no power. It's been that way for, 20 years. Because I drove by it, 2 or 3 times, and to figure out which one it was, and it's right behind the condos, the new condos,
Okay.
like right next door to that.
So I might have been looking at a similar property.
Yeah,
62? They do look identical.
Do you want me to pull the old file, or?
Yeah, take a look, because we've already had this one on the agenda. That's why, because you guys weren't on the board at the time, but I just can't remember the address. I think it was 64. 64 Campfield Drive, Fairfield. Yeah, see, here's I think the one you were looking at. All right.
Yes.
And
That's
then
definitely the one.
that's not this one. There's this one right next door.
Yep.
But then if you go down here, this is actually 54. 54 on that side, 56 on that side.
Okay.
And that's the one you're looking at right there. So that one is, you can see it's like brand new as opposed to this one, which is like, old asbestos shingle siding.
That's the one, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the one from the old, I don't know if that's.
Yeah. Basically, we had them fix it up. Yeah, there's probably a picture of the front in that. But yeah, it's an empty, abandoned home that, the owner does the minimum to maintain it. Sorry to, not trying to one-up you there.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Mr. Chairman.
No.
But
All right, so.
I think this one should just be referred to our office for a housing complaint as opposed to a blight complaint.
Okay.
Giving myself more
I
work.
think there was already a second on,
Yeah.
so, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, 1157 Congress Street for the boats.
So I met with the owner there. There's currently 3 boats on the property. He sold 2 of the boats. 2 of the boats are actively registered. I checked the registration. They have current stickers on them. And there's 1 boat there that is a newer boat. Looks like it's very well maintained, but he did say he's working on it right now and isn't currently registered because he's working on the engine right now. So I would say with this one, it's 1 unregistered boat, to refer it to zoning to see if there's any zoning violations here, but, it doesn't, I don't feel it meets the criteria for blight.
Okay.
Zoning sometimes allows an unregistered boat as long as it meets certain setback criteria from the side and the front. I think it has to be 90 feet back from the front and 10 feet away from the side or something like that. So I'd make a motion to not put it on the agenda and to send it to zoning.
All right.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. 166 Grassmere Avenue, vehicle and railings. So I can tell you that I stopped there today, met with one of the occupants there who mentioned that there's a vehicle in the rear that's been there for quite some time. I did get a plate. I have yet to run it, but I doubt that it's registered because it's surrounded.
The tires are flat.
The tires, it's surrounded by debris. The occupant has mentioned that it's been there for quite some time. Moving beyond the vehicle, though, what was more concerning to me...
Is this Blake? There's a gentleman here from Yachty, 338, did you say? He has paperwork that was requested by you guys?
Okay, yeah, have him come in.
Yeah,
Take
absolutely.
a seat right there. Yeah.
I'm going to suspend the current discussion to go back to 383 Hunyadi. Hello, sir.
I just talked to you.
You
I
could,
was right in another folder.
you could just put your mask on.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So it's in another folder. I found it.
Okay.
And this is the most recent one, which is, see, it's good till 2/24. That's the new one. It was in the one I sent you for you guys, look.
Okay,
It was dated for your guys' name on there, so.
okay. With, going back to this, item,
Yep, so that,
the, 383 Hunyadi Avenue, confirming the car is registered.
okay.
With new evidence in regards to the Chevy, this vehicle, we have current registration with an expiration of 4/21/24.
All right.
You
You make a motion to remove it?
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Nothing for nothing, but I would like to know who was going to complain, and I'm supposed to be able to know that, my nose.
Yep, and so what you have to do is, again, you can file a Freedom of Information request from us, then we...
Do that, because I'd like to know, just to know.
Yep, just, you can go right back into our office, and we'll have the secretary have you fill
Find out who said it, because I wish they'd come talk to me, because I take care of all the neighbors around the neighborhood, and I'm like, why would somebody, just antagonize me for no reason, especially with COVID out there. When I've been out with COVID since February, it's crazy.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you guys for all your help, sorry for the problem.
All right.
You have to know where the FOI forms are, have to fill out a FOI request.
We're just gonna wait a minute while, Mr. Cleary's taking care of some business, and he should be back within a minute.
Hey, Andrea, could you help them with that?
Yeah, I don't have that here. I don't know if someone else had the original complaint for that one.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to
Okay.
tell them, we'll
Okay.
find it, we're in the middle of the
Okay.
meeting, we'll find it, and, but could you help them just get the form and fill it out, and then say,
Sure.
we'll get it for him?
Okay,
All
so I'm gonna suspend, discussing 166 Grassmere Ave until, our recording secretary returns, and move right onto 180 High Street, which is the Armory, which, I think we've all kind of had discussions in regards to this property, because it's, currently owned by, I believe, the federal government, unknown about access to, the rear of the building, as it currently has a chain link fence with numerous locks on it. You can certainly look.
Yep, so we have to look, we'd have to do a joint inspection there, and make arrangements to get in and take a walk around the property to verify if there indeed, the trees that are, dead trees that are hanging over other people's property, and multiple missing, broken, boarded up windows or doors is what we'd have to look at.
From the front and driveway side of the building, I did not see any broken windows. I know there has been history with broken windows on the property, so that kind of makes me curious as to what the rear of the building does look like.
Yep, and there, you could see, at least from the driveway side, there are a couple large dead branches up in the tree that not hanging over the neighbor's property, but still they should probably be taken care of. But again, it really comes down to what's our authority to issue an order to the federal government.
Yes.
I think we'll have to walk down that path. But there is a property manager that the town has a contact with him that they can at least ask, them to do these things, and we can issue whatever a determination if it so comes to that it meets that. And if they say you don't have the authority, then we don't.
At least we tried.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so 180, we'll just keep on the agenda for next month.
I think
while we all kind of.
I think we have to set up. Unfortunately, if the three of us meet, then it's considered a meeting, so we'll have to arrange that when we have access and when we and notice the meeting that it's a special meeting to tour the Armory facility.
Okay. As the chair, would you like me to attempt to reach out to the property management and try and get a date and time?
For now, we just have to make contact with either someone at FD has the key. There's 4 locks on there. FD, PD, DPW. They can all let us in. If we get the PD one has a combo on it, we can let ourselves in and let ourselves out. We just have to get that, because they all, in the past, have stored stuff there, you know.
Okay, yes.
So they, we just have to figure out who's going to loan us the key, and then notice for a meeting, and then go up there and do that, and then, you know.
Do we have permission to go on though?
The town does, yes. The town uses the site from time to time to store bulk material and things like that, and vehicles every now and then. So.
Okay. Going back to 166 Grassmere Ave, we just talked about the vehicle, but what's concerning to me was, in fact, the rear deck, that structural. I think we perhaps would need to look at that, and the front deck on the front of the building has a second floor deck that has some disrepair to it. So you can see it in the railings and, you know, I guess the spindles, if you will. They're very loose. So I believe that's what was the complaint. So perhaps the structural stability of it.
And like the front walk handrail.
Oh yeah.
You know, you could tear it off if you wanted to. So it meets the criteria for blight, I think, you know, from a disrepair aspect, and so, you know, seriously damaged or missing, seriously damaging, collapsing missing walls or roof, seriously damaged missing siding. I think it would fall within those categories there. I think there's a language in there, or anything there attached to when they reference these. So
okay. So shall we send the letter?
Well, we'll have to have a hearing next month. But again, in the meantime, we can kind of just reach out to the owner. It is a rental property, so we'll look into it from a rental side, and then. But we should have notice them for a hearing for next month, since it did come through blight, and we want to get rid of the car too. It's a multiple thing.
Yes. All right. Now skipping down to 756 Roland Road. I drove past there today. I kind of looked around on the front, the left side, right side, looking at those sides. I didn't really see anything that I believe comes to, for me, the definition of blight. It had here mold, paint, structural, and deck, but without going into the rear of the yard, I didn't really see anything.
Yeah, and this actually came in not as a blight complaint, but as an unfit property and structure complaint. So up at the top, so it should have been actually under new business up there. But black mold growing in sunroom, wall paint peeling off, support beams on the deck are out of joist. Deck stairs are cracked. Toilet leaks. So these are, again, most of these are housing issues. So I think this one we would take it on at the health department in terms of, because we'd have to. These would be rental violations, and I believe this is a rental property. This particular one. So I'd make a motion to sort of take it off unfit structures and just have the health department look at it.
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion on the matter? If this should not be a rental, just
yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I'm not 100% sure. The person making the complaint is from Hollywood, Florida, and it looks,
assuming that
if I recall correctly, there's vehicles from different states in the driveway. I believe this is, is a rental property.
I think that's the tenant that was leaving that brought it into our office.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, it's something we can have the inspector who, it may be something that they resolved, and the inspector who did the CRO can sort of look at that and see if these issues were present at that time.
Okay. All right. All those in favor with the motion? Aye. 146 Wheeler Park Ave, rodents, debris, and vehicles.
Yeah, so there's one vehicle sitting there. I haven't had a chance to look up the plate. The house itself, there's no boarded broken windows, but the only thing I noticed is the garage isn't secured, so you can open the garage up, and the door right within the garage. So the front and the back door, or the front and the side door are secured. The garage, you can get in through the garage, and so we got to at least get them to secure that, and then ask them about the car. So I think we have to have a hearing on that one. Just it's an unsecured house and an abandoned car, obviously abandoned car there.
Yes, that car's been there for a couple months.
Yeah.
All right. 225 Winnipogue Drive. So I went by there today. There were, I believe it was 3 vehicles, 1 in the garage, 2 out front, and I did not have time to check the 2 out front. However, they look like they haven't moved in a little while. The other thing that I saw there was that there was several pieces of machinery, lawnmowers, tractors, both in the yard and driveway, in the side yard. There was a tent in the driveway, broken fencing, and various other debris in the yard.
So it meets the criteria for flight?
I believe it does.
Okay, so we'll have a hearing next month?
All right. Any other new business? Any other new business before us? Hearing none. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Time is now 2:54.
Outstanding, Mr. Chairman.